In today's video, I am going to be breaking down some different basketball plays that you can use that will create a mismatch. Basically, what a mismatch is when you've got a shorter, faster player being guarded by a taller, slower player, or the vice versa of that, which is you've got a tall player being guarded by a shorter guard down in the low post. These are two mismatches that we are going to try and create with the plays that I'm going to show you today. Really quickly, if you want a deadly defense that you don't have to worry about mismatches happening, make sure to go check out the Unbeatable Basketball Zone Defense book, which is down in the description below, that will double the low post and trap the corners without leaving any player open. Now let's get down and let's check out these basketball plays. Okay, so first we're going to have our bigs start on the wing or the 45, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to have our shorter guards or forwards down in the corner. Obviously, our point guard is going to be up top, and this is a 5-out offense. You can get the complete guide to the 5-out offense down in the description below as well. But what we are going to start with is some pin down screens by player 5 and player 4. There's going to be two options, and we need to be able to read what happens to our defense when these screens are set. So as an example, if there's a switch on this, these players come up, and let's say both of these players switch. Player 4 and 5 should roll just slightly towards the rim for a second, because now player 1 can make the decision. Can he pass to player 2, and will player 2 be able to score when player 4 clears out and 5 clears out? Or will player 3 have the better opportunity to score with these players clearing out on player 5? The other option is, does player 4 have a crazy mismatch or player 5 have a crazy mismatch where it can be just an easy basket right away because they're so tall on somebody who is so short? If there's a pass, if he can't pass down right away, these guys have to clear out because player 1 is going to screen away. And when he screens away, this is either going to be a slip or he may roll. So depending on how defenses are going to be being played here. So for example, player 3 comes off this screen. If player 1 was playing really high, player 1 just has to slip because now he's going to have the wide open lane. If they're covering it somewhat well, then player 1 can just roll off that screen and try and beat his man to the basket. If he's open, hit him, but the slip works even better. If that happens, then of course 5 lifts up, 1 fills out, and we're still in the 5-out. Now if we go back to the beginning and set these screens, and let's say there was no switch. However, if there's no switch, 5 and 4 need to get out of the key right away. Because now what's going to happen is, let's say player 1 decides, hey, player 3, his man's kind of big and slow or whatever. Maybe there's a mismatch here. Or maybe there's a mismatch here where now, let's say we can have player 1 come together for that dribble handoff. When that dribble handoff happens, if player 1 tries to go high and 3 goes over top, then this can be a slip. The other option is, let's say player 3 is just a very powerful small forward and player 1's defender is just kind of skinny and small, let's say, right? Well, now they get the mismatch here and player 3 needs to attack the rim as fast and as hard and as strong as possible. So that would be the secondary option if there was no switch initially. Okay, so here we have a big who is playing here, a big who is playing here, and a guard who is playing over here. We're going to initialize this play by passing the ball to player 3. Player 2 is going to set the screen for player 5, and we're hoping for a switch. If there's a switch, it's an easy layup because 5 is a center, 2 is a shooting guard, and there should be a massive mismatch right there. If he doesn't get the ball, he is going to clear out to the same side corner, and then player 2 can set the screen on player 4. 4 is going to cut across the key, and this may be another option. If it's not an option, they've created that triangle. We're going to set the down screen for player 2. Player 2 comes up, and this will be our last option for the 3-point shot. So we're hoping that player 5 or 4 has the mismatch with a smaller guard. Meanwhile, player 2, we're just hoping that he gets the 3-point shot off, or maybe you can just rerun the play just to the opposite side. So for example, 1 clears out, pass goes over to player 1, now player 5 uses 4 as a screen. And we can run this offense all over again. And that would be with player 3 going to the high post, so that now player 4 sets that back screen on player 3 cuts across. We can just continuously run this until we find somebody that's open. I hope that these plays help your team win more games. Make sure to go check out the Unbeatable Zone Defense that is down in the description below. Basically, what it does is it doubles everything in the low post. It traps the corners, and it gives single coverage up here where it basically is unbeatable, because it doesn't leave anybody open. So definitely go check that out down in the description below. I'll see you guys again in my next video.